it happened. Just like so many YouTubers before me, I have gotten to this point where I'm going to have to be honest with you guys. Yesterday evening, I looked up some porn, actual hardcore porn. I fapped it and I busted a nut. I have actually relapsed in the classical sense of the word. I have full blown relapsed on NoFap. I actually did. But there is a twist to this video. You see, unlike most YouTubers who relapse by accident because they succumb to their urges, they had a moment of weakness, right? I relapsed on purpose. I made the conscious choice to look up some porn and to bust a nut. Not because I thought that I had deserved it, or that it wouldn't be that bad, or because I have given up on NoFap or whatever. No. I made the conscious choice to relapse to porn because I wanted to make this video to prove you guys a point that I am doing fine right now. That's like the one big thing I wanted to tell you guys. I am doing fine. I'm not feeling particularly bad. I'm not feeling particularly great. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fine. I am feeling just as fine as I did yesterday. I see so many people in the NoFap community who have this completely unhealthy image of what a NoFap journey is supposed to look like. And the relapse, it has become this mythical thing that people dread. They think that the relapse is the end of the world. It's all about your streak, the number of days that you've achieved. And then when you relapse, the streak is over and you've lost the benefits. And when you lose the benefits, then oh my God, man, your life is over. You've done it all for nothing. Superpowers are gone and this and that, etc. Guys, I am not feeling any less motivated to work towards my goals than I felt yesterday. I woke up this morning next to my girlfriend, and I'm pretty sure that she didn't suddenly think that I was unattractive. I'm pretty sure that I didn't suddenly lose my women attraction benefit. I don't feel particularly more tired than I did yesterday. I just did a workout. I felt fine. I genuinely feel about as fine as I felt yesterday. There is nothing particular that I'm noticing right now. I don't feel like I have lost any of the benefits, any of the powers. And this is because you have to understand how NoFap works. You see, porn is bad for you. I am not trying to say that NoFap is nonsense. Porn is bad for you, yes. But, this is the big but, porn is primarily bad for you if you do it too often. You see, when you start doing it too often, it starts to numb your dopamine system. When your dopamine system starts to become numb, you lose the motivation to work towards your goals, things in your life become less fun, etc., etc. If you do it too often, you usually start to develop, let's call it, more specific tastes. You can develop actual fetishes. Or at the very least, you sort of become dependent on this behavior where you constantly look for the next video, right? You start selecting a video, you skip to the next video, you skip within the video, and you sort of get this unhealthy sexuality that whenever you end up with a real person, you lose your erection, or it's not as fun because you can't just skip to like the next person or the next fetish all the time during the real thing, right? You get like an unhealthy sexuality. You do porn too often, you get a numb dopamine system, you get an unhealthy sexuality. For me personally, and for a lot of other people, that's the main reason why porn is bad for you. And so NoFap is great because when you do NoFap, you start watching porn less often and you get a fresh dopamine system again, assuming that you also target the other factors in your life. But you guys get the point. This is one of the things you need to do to reset your dopamine system. And you start to get a healthier sexuality again. That's the point of NoFap, right? Watching porn too often, bad for your brain, numbs your dopamine system, rewires your sexuality, and then you don't watch porn as often anymore, and you reverse these bad effects. That's what is essentially what it does. Well, guess what? Guess what happens if you watch porn once? Do you think that watching porn once is going to numb your dopamine system to the point where you suddenly no longer have any motivation to work towards your goals? And suddenly things are not fun anymore in your life because you've watched a high dopamine video once? Do you think that fapping it once to a specific category of porn is instantly going to rewire your brain to become dependent on that category? That is actually going to give you a fetish? No, of course not. Doing it once is going to do absolutely nothing. Your dopamine system is going to be fine. Your sexuality is going to be fine. I am feeling fine right now. My dopamine system isn't any more numb than it was yesterday. And I haven't suddenly developed a fetish that I didn't have yet yesterday. If you fap to porn once, nothing happens. And now some people are probably going to ask me, Rob, how long was the streak that you broke to prove this point in this video? I don't know. I don't track my streak. I mean, what even is a streak, if you think about it? I have a girlfriend. I have sex with my girlfriend. Does that break my streak? Or is it just about porn? Is the streak about not watching porn? Does that mean that if I were to start up a video right now and watch it 5 seconds without touching myself, and then I tell myself, I'm not going to do anything, it's just porn, I can control myself, and then I close down the video again? Did I break my streak? Because I just watched it for 5 seconds, telling myself that I can control myself? Did that break my streak? What even is a relapse? Because I think it was last week, I watched porn with my girlfriend. Yesterday evening, it wasn't the first time I watched porn in several years, no. Last week I watched porn with my girlfriend while we were having sex, which we occasionally do, once every so often, as a conscious choice. Not because we have a moment of weakness and we end up succumbing to our urges and watching porn, no. Once every so often when we have sex, we watch some porn together. We do that for fun. So what even is a relapse? What even is a streak? I honestly don't even think about the number of days that I go without porn or orgasm, whatever. I don't even think of it as if I am on a streak or that I relapse. I honestly don't even think of myself being on NoFap anymore. I just consider myself to be the person that isn't addicted to porn. I just consider myself the person that doesn't watch porn all the time. And I've gotten to the point where porn doesn't really have any influence over my life anymore. Like the bad effects of porn don't have any effects on me anymore. And if I watch porn every so often with my girlfriend because I want to watch porn, or even if I want to watch porn alone, which I wouldn't recommend, please don't start using this as an excuse. But even if I would make the choice to do what I did yesterday evening, like once a month, twice a month, I would probably be fine. Again, don't use this as an excuse, and all of this is assuming that I would actually have the self-control to do it just once or twice a month, which is going to be very hard for a lot of people. But I'm just trying to make the point that hypothetically, if I were to watch porn once or twice a month, that would be fine. Because it wouldn't numb my dopamine system to the point where I'd lose the motivation to work towards my goals. It wouldn't rewire my sexuality to the point where I'd get fetishes. Nothing would happen. Now, I do like to say that I am not trying to undervalue the argument of semen retention, because I have a girlfriend and I can notice that when I do sleep with her every day or even several times a day, that yes, I do sort of feel a bit more tired. I might even feel like less motivated to work towards my goals in some sense. I feel less energetic, less hyped on life. I guess I would describe it as feeling slightly more meh-ish. That's the word that I'm choosing. I feel slightly more meh in life when I bust a nut too often. So I'm not saying that semen retention is nonsense. There's an argument you can make for not busting a nut too often when it comes to your energy and your motivation in life. Yeah, sure. And there's a very strong argument you can make for not watching porn too often. But the point that I'm trying to make in this video is that if you are doing NOFAP, or a better way to describe it is just that, you know, you are becoming the guy that just doesn't watch porn all the time anymore. And you end up relapsing by accident, and not because you use this video as an excuse. But if you do genuinely end up relapsing by accident, guys, nothing happens, okay? I just relapsed yesterday and I am feeling fine. And now there are probably, no, not probably, there are surely going to be people that say, Rob, but I relapsed and I didn't feel fine. I did feel so much more tired, and I did feel like I had no motivation to work towards my goals, and I just ended up binge eating and playing video games all day. Yeah, you know what? That happened to me as well, years back. Because I told myself that relapsing was a bad thing. I honestly think that this is largely the placebo effect. If you believe that you've done a bad thing if you've relapsed and that you are going to feel bad, you are going to feel bad. I mean, think about it, how simple it really is. You tell your brain that you've done something bad, so your brain is going to feel bad. And because you feel bad, because you experience a lot of these negative emotions, your brain is going to want to seek comfort in a bunch of instant gratification instead of actually feeling motivated to work towards your goals and to do the hard work. If you tell yourself to feel bad, you are going to feel bad and you are going to do the bad habits to try to comfort yourself again. That's how a brain works. It's all in your mind. If we look at this thing realistically, what actually happens to the dopamine system, you watch porn once, you haven't done it in like, let's say, weeks or months, and then you watch it once, the actual effect it has on the dopamine system, it doesn't suddenly numb the dopamine system. The numbing of the dopamine system is something that happens over the longer term. Practically nothing happens to your dopamine system. If you feel less motivated to work towards your goals, it's here, it's mental. Technically, dopamine is also in here, but you guys get the point. It's symbolically in here, right? It's mental, it's the placebo effect. Sure, semen retention, this argument is a little bit more valid, because maybe you might say, well, yeah, but Rob, you just told us that if you do bust nuts too often, you feel more tired. So what about that? Maybe, yeah? Maybe I would have felt slightly more energetic if I didn't bust a nut yesterday. Yes, maybe you do feel slightly more tired after you relapse. But it is neglectable, guys, okay? You won't suddenly feel so tired that you can no longer work hard, that you can no longer bring up discipline to work towards your goals because you've busted a nut. I mean, what do you think is going to happen when you get a wife or a girlfriend? You can never have sex with her because whenever you have sex, then the next day you feel so tired that you can't work towards your goals? No, of course not. It's going to be pretty neglectable. I just did my workout. I'm done training. I felt fine. Maybe I would have felt a tiny bit stronger if I didn't relapse yesterday. Yeah, maybe I would have. But I felt strong enough. It's going to be a neglectable difference in your energy levels. So, really, the main point I'm trying to make in this video is I'm not saying that semen retention is complete nonsense. I'm definitely not trying to say that there's nothing bad about watching porn, because there definitely is. I'm just trying to say that if you end up relapsing once by accident, you are going to be fine. I did it to prove a point, and I'm feeling fine. So if it's going to happen to you, you are also going to be fine.